on the water there might be a leaves or the flower petals which is lying down, which gives a beautiful feeling, and it's a full moon. And the light falling gives a so calm effect, not only for the visuals but gives a feeling as well.
Yes, so befittingly for the day of the full moon is in the picture, which is very much a round shape. And we were very much talking about the full moon in this picture. So congratulations, Ma Sisa, for manifesting this round of the power manifestation.
Yes. And also Shiva has moon in his head, if you have noticed. So congratulations, Ma Shukrandraanda. You have also manifested this power. So thank you for manifesting this power.
Yeah, this was actually the aspect of the picture which we were elaborating on the most. So you've definitely successfully manifested this power, both of you.
Yes. My Lord Shiva is totally that color, dark blue. Yes. Lord Shiva is definitely all the time depicted as dark blue. So yes, congratulations, Ma. Again, thank you for sharing and manifesting this power. So the power manifestation is going to be now, it's getting interesting as well. So let's enter into the second round of power manifestation. Again, take a moment to close your eyes, bring your awareness to the third eye, and scan both acharyas, both of us, for the next image that we are going to look at.
Again, start chanting the Mahavakya, connect to Swamiji, and let him reveal through you all the details of the image that we are going to look at now.
Nityananda Paramashivoham Om 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 Nityananda.
Yes. So now you can slowly open your eyes if you have closed it. And take a moment to share what was revealed to you. Any details about the image that both acharyas were looking at. So please take a moment and share anything that you saw, anything that came to you, anything that was revealed to you. We already have some of the sharings. Ma Nitya Ghorasarupini says, white feathers. Ma Shukranjana says, I see some small white egg shapes, snake, hens, some tool. Okay, interesting. Thank you for sharing, Ma. Requesting other participants as well. Ma Lichika, Ma Vi Wenmi, Ma Zhang, Jian Hong. All of you, you can share.
Wei Wen Mei sharing mountains, water, bridges, car.
Yes. Okay, great.
Thank you for sharing.
Okay, waiting for a couple of more moments. Then we'll be projecting the image that we were looking at. Okay, Malichika says something like a pillar shape. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. Okay, now we'll be projecting the image now. Yes, as you can see, it's a water falling from the huge mountain, and just at the back, it's a huge sunshine, clouds, and just at the front, it's a green on the mountain itself.
Some forest is there.
The forest is there, and if you just look a little deeper, the pathway where the water is flowing, there's a bridge which is on the top of the water, which is becoming like a river. So
it would not be visible for the
yeah, for the not visible, but we had actually zoomed in and checked it. There is a bridge.
And also
Definitely.
in the background, there's some object which you try to identify. My co-acharya told it's a vehicle. I thought it is a house. So Ma Wei Wen Mei's spot on every single thing is exactly correct, Ma. So applaud yourself for manifesting this power successfully.
So mountains, water, bridges, cars. Yes, very good, Ma.
Yes. And actually, just before the power manifestation, first celebrate. Yes. You manifested the power successfully. And actually, before we predicted this picture, I suggested to have a snowman. Yes. So some small white egg shape would also be part of our visualization.
Yes. And we had that, we saw that image, so definitely it came. You might have scanned that thought current. Yes. Something
So-
like pillar shape. Okay. Okay. So now we'll be moving on to the next session, and which is going to be on collective consciousness. Now, as we as a human beings, because of our boundary, because of our form, we feel separate, we feel identity as an individual. We don't feel connected to the existence. And now Swamiji will be revealing all of us about the collective consciousness, how we are actually connected to the consciousness itself. We are, even though we think we are separate, but in reality, we are connected. The collective consciousness. So, without any delay,
Yes, like you all just experienced during this power manifestation, where you, just by your intention to connect, were able to receive even the images that we are seeing. So let us go into the detail. Let us listen to Swamiji as he is revealing the deeper insights into this powerful revelation.
Now I'm going to present few great truths about the collective consciousness, which may surprise you, or you might have heard of this truth. Whatever it may be, whether it is new or old for you, try to analyze as much as possible. Try to analyze till your logic feels tired, till your logic falls. Try to analyze till your logic falls. First thing, all your minds are not individual, separate pieces of the universe. It is all one and the same. All your minds are interlinked. Not only interlinked, directly affects each other. That is what we call collective consciousness. It straight away affects each other. Your thoughts are just as infectious as your cold. Your cold. People may escape from your cold. It is not so infectious, but your thoughts are much more infectious than cold. If you catch cold from somebody, you may suffer only few days, that also physically. But when you catch thoughts from people, not only you suffer mentally, you suffer forever. It's not only mentally, you suffer forever. Same way, anything you think affects the people who are staying around, and not only people who are staying around, whomsoever is living in the planet Earth, they are touched by your thoughts. Understand? Now naturally our intellect will resist. How can this be true? Receive all these things. Now we will then later on the question and answer session we will analyze it one by one, inch by inch. First truth I declare, all of us are not different beings, different minds. We are all totally interlinked, closely networked. Any of my thought can transform you, any of your thought can touch me. We are not watertight compartmented. We are not separate individuals. You are not an island. Please be very clear, you are not an island. There is only one thing called collective consciousness. Next truth, not only in the mental level, even in the deeper conscious level, the more deep you go, the more deeply you are connected. The more deep you go, the more deep you are connected. Sachidananda, get that NSP diagram. I'll try to explain a simple truth. Please understand, this is the physical layer, physical body. This is the pranic body, the second level, third level, fourth level, fifth, sixth, seventh. You have the 7 layers of bodies. In the physical layer, for example, the physical level, you are here. I am here. And God is here. If you come down a little bit to the pranic level, you see, in the physical level, the distance is too much. In the pranic level, if you come down to a little subtle level, pranic level, the distance between you and me is reduced. Here the distance is too much. Here it is reduced. And if you come down a little more, the mental level, again the distance is little less. If you come down little deeper and deeper, the distance between you, me, God. When you come down, when you go a little deeper and deeper, the more deeper you go, the distance is less. The more deeper you go, the distance between you, me, God will be reducing. In the end, the deeper level, there is no distance. You, me, God, everything is just one and the same. The only in the physical level.
It's working. Everybody can. Everybody can hear. Really. Take another mic, no? Take the other mic. Yeah. Take the other mic.
In the physical level, the distance is too much. In the pranic level, distance is little less. And in the mental level, distance is little less. It is getting reduced. The more deeper you go, the more sensitive you grow, the distance is reducing. The distance is getting lesser and lesser. In the end, the Nirvanic body, you, me, God, all the three are one the same. There is no distance. The physical level, you are different entities. When you feel in tune or when you start loving somebody intimately, their suffering or joy can affect you. Why? Because the distance has become very less. It can simply come in or go out of your being. Their suffering can come into your being or their joy can come into your being. In a little deeper level, you don't have something called individual identity. You are just a part of collective consciousness. That is why many times you do not want suffering but you are not able to escape from suffering. Again and again, whether it is physical disease or a mental depression or the spiritual bondage, even though you don't want, you have to undergo the suffering because you are not clear-cut enough. You are not aware that you are part of the collective consciousness. The moment you become aware, you don't have an individual identity. You are part of collective consciousness. You don't have a separate ego except your identities, your intellectual understanding. In existence, there is no such thing called your separate individual entity exists. When you realize that, you just go beyond sufferings, depression, and diseases. Understand this one thing. As long as you have the concept, you are individual, the individual consciousness. As long as you have individual consciousness, whether physically or mentally or in being level, spiritually, you will be continuously suffering. Why do you think continuously you are resisting the nature? Whatever nature offers, you resist. There is a beautiful saying, man as a rule is a fool when it is hot asking for cool, when it is cool asking for hot, always asking what is not. Always asking what is not. When it is cool, you resist. You think you are different from the existence. I have seen sannyasis, enlightened masters, living in Himalayas with just this normal cloth in the cold, in the snow. And I myself lived years. Never body was disturbed. Never body was disturbed. Because I never had the thought that I am different from the nature. Only when you start thinking you are different from the atmosphere or the existence or the air which is there near you, you start resisting it. A very simple thing. Just now you can practice. If you are feeling cold, just relax and observe, witness in which area you are feeling cold. In that area, don't resist the atmosphere, don't resist the air, don't resist the temperature, don't resist the existence. In that area, just say to yourself, I am not going to resist the nature. I am not going to resist the existence. Let me relax. Just consciously decide and relax. In few minutes, the idea of cold will disappear. It may look, immediately what we do is, we put the next extreme question. Can we do this in the time of snow and can we survive? Because our mind always goes to extremes. You can, if you can do it totally. And you don't have that much of totality. We don't have that much of clarity. If we can relax, fall in tune with nature so much, simply you can live. Because human beings are living. When they all can manage, why not us? When you think you are something separate from the nature, nature disturbs you. And one more thing, in the air, all possible bacteria and viruses are there. Any moment, any disease can affect you. Any disease can happen to you. As long as you feel in tune with the existence, even if they come inside your body, they just leave. The moment you start thinking that you are somebody individual, separate from the existence, you are something different, then the whole becomes your enemy. You see, you are a part and everything is a whole. If you feel in tune with the whole behaves as a friend. The moment you start thinking, the moment you start discriminating and start behaving with the whole in an opposite way, it just starts acting like an enemy. Be very clear, the whole is not here to kill you or destroy you. And this is a simple, one more example you can understand. When a living person falls in the water, he gets drowned and the dead body floats. And after all, dead body is more heavy. It is filled with water now. Once he dies, he drinks water and water goes inside. He is heavy, but dead body floats, but a living person gets drowned. What do you think? As long as you are living, you resist the water. You are resisting the nature. If you just stop resisting, if you just feel that the whole is part of you, you have become part of the whole, simply you can start floating. And the other day I read a beautiful interview. One person jumped in the Niagara Falls and he survived. A strange thing. He jumped in the Niagara Falls and he survived. All the journalists are questioning him. How could you manage it? How did you survive? And if you have seen Niagara, then you can understand. I can't even imagine that somebody survived in that Niagara. He says beautifully. He says, when I jumped, I felt that I become part of the falls. I felt I am a particle floating in the falls. When I came out, again I felt I am just a part. I never felt I am different. When you disappear into collective consciousness, nature is not enemy for you. Nature is your close friend. Nature protects you. When you think you are individual, as long as you have individual consciousness, nature protects you. When you realize you are a collective consciousness, nature protects you. Wherever you want to achieve success, even in the social and economical way, only when you feel in tune with the whole group, only when you fall in tune with the collective consciousness, you will be able to achieve what you want to achieve. As long as you think you are an individual, you wanted to keep your place distinctly, you wanted to keep the idea you are somebody, be very clear, you will be continuously resisted and you will be resisting. Whether it is home or office, workplace or your company or industry, wherever, if you disappear into the collective consciousness, you will be again and again protected and taken care, and you will experience the ultimate success. Not only socially and economically, you will start experiencing it in a feeling of fulfillment. The feeling of fulfillment which happens to you will be inexplicable. The moment you start resisting, you create hell for your whole life. Small story. A guy was informed that his wife has fallen in the river and he is supposed to jump in the river and save. He jumped and started swimming against the current. And they shouted, "Arey, what are you doing? You are going against the current." He said, "You don't know, my wife, even if she falls in the river, she will float only against the current." She resists everything so much. I don't think she can go with the current even in the river. As long as you resist the current, whether it is your workplace or house or office or a company or wherever it is, as long as you don't disappear into the collective consciousness, you will be continuously creating hell for you and for others. Even in the physical level, if you think you are somebody separate, be very clear, you will be inviting diseases. And one more thing, the mental level, if you think you are separate, again and again, you will be creating seeds of violence. Seeds of violence is created when you feel you are individual. With collective consciousness, you unify. With individual consciousness, you dissect or cut things into pieces. Logic always breaks. Intuition always unites. With the collective consciousness, of course, in the soul level, if you are feeling you are an individual, there is no possibility of any spiritual growth. Any spiritual growth. Spiritually, you can't even put your first step, first thing. In the physical level, you are not an individual. Your body and the body of the sun is straight away connected. Any small change in the body of the sun can change your body. Any small change in your body can change the body of the moon. Even though logically you are not able to relate, it is truth. And the next thing, in mental level, you are not alone, you are not an island. Any thought which is put on somebody else's head comes and touches you, and any thought which is created in your mind goes and touches the other person. It's like a ripple created in a lake. If you are going to create a strong wave, you will be inspiring and impressing others by your thought. If you are not so solid to create a strong wave, be very clear, others' waves are going to impress you. Either you live as a leader or you will be a follower. There is no in between. You always think, I will not be a leader, I can't do that much, but I don't have to be a follower. I'll just maintain my own stand, which is simply impractical. There is no such thing as my own stand exists. Either you lead or you follow, that's all. The mental level also, again and again, if you think you are an individual, you will be resisted. And the moment you understand you are part of the collective consciousness, not only you will not be resisted, you will be welcomed and received. Third thing, in the ultimate way, the spiritual level, the moment you understand, you are deeply connected, totally connected, intensely connected to the whole group, to the whole universe. Not only you start experiencing the bliss, you start living, opening many dimensions of your being. Now you are stressed out, disturbed continuously because you have to think too much just with one mind. You have to enjoy so much just with one body. If you disappear into this collective consciousness, you will have so many dimensions, so many possibilities, and the amount of ecstasy you can't imagine. Understand? With this one body itself, if you can make so much of joy, if you can enjoy so much, what will happen if you have two bodies? You can put one in the AC, another one in the heater and enjoy both. If you have three bodies, you can put all the three bodies, depute all the three bodies in three countries and enjoy three different culture. And if you have four, you can naturally enjoy little more. Just understand, if you have so many bodies, how much of joy and bliss you will have. Same thing you will experience when you understand you are part of collective consciousness. The whole NSP or Nithyananda Spurana program is all about making you realize you are the part of collective consciousness. Not only a part, you are collective consciousness. You are not individual consciousness as you think. Physically or mentally or spiritually. Layer by layer, when we go deeper and deeper, you start feeling you are just one with everything. That is why automatically the diseases disappear. You start feeling the well-being in mental layer, pranic layer, physical layer, etheric layer, and in all the deeper layers. When you really experience that you are boundaryless consciousness, I have seen when we end the program, the meditation camp, people go into such a deep ecstasy, they forget their name, their social status, their education, their qualification, their wealth, their religion, all what they think they are. They forget everything and respect everybody. They fall at others' feet. Even I have seen the daughter-in-law or father-in-law falling at the feet of daughter-in-law. That never happens in India. At least in Indian culture it is too much. I have seen father-in-law falling at the feet of daughter-in-law, just seeing the divine in her, and mother-in-law falling at the feet of son-in-law, and fathers falling at the feet of daughters, because they see the divine, and the grandmothers touching the feet of granddaughters, and the person who is a boss or who is the owner of a company touching the feet of person who works for him. This is staff for whom he pays. I've seen this happening. When you experience the deep ecstasy of oneness, collective consciousness, when you experience the bliss or ecstasy of the collective consciousness, you forget all the differences of your name, wealth, social status, prestige, whatever you think as you just disappears, and what you are is revealed to you. I've seen people bowing, touching the feet of their worst enemies in that ecstasy. They forget, they are raised, they experience such a deep level of consciousness, such an intense level of energy, such a collective consciousness, such a bliss. Literally, ego disappears and they enter into the state of collective consciousness. And without even knowing, they just go around in that ecstasy. And whomsoever is there, they see God in everyone. It is not that they are given instruction. It is not that they are visualizing. When the experience happens, the whole group feels the collective consciousness and realizes they are one and the same. They are not different entities. Only when you experience the collective consciousness, you can say, you can realize, you can experience what I mean by the word bliss, eternal bliss, Nithyananda. So I pray to the ultimate divine, let you experience this eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank
Yes. For these beautiful revelations from Swamiji on the collective consciousness, the experience, where we can understand that there is not only something beyond what we experience, but we are that. We are beyond the physical plane. We are beyond the pranic layer, the mental layer, all the different layers. When we go deeper and deeper, we understand, we realize, we experience that we are the ultimate superconsciousness expressing through all of us.
So when somebody shares a beautiful example, a person who just fell in the Niagara Fall, but when he fell one with the water, one with the existence itself, nothing happened to him. Somebody says nobody, he has not seen anybody who fell in the fall actually being alive, but he not only was alive, came out very healthy. Nothing happened to him. When he fell into the existence, during that time, he was one with the existence. Nature took care of him. Nothing happened to him. And Swami says, when you are in collective consciousness, you heal yourself. So now we'll be moving on to the next segment where participants will be asking questions and answers on collective consciousness. I'm sure all of you have your own questions about the collective consciousness. So keep it with you. Mostly these questions will be answered during these question and answer sessions, because these are direct questions from the participants. So
actually, if you have any questions, you can send them in the chat.
Yes.
But let's see, maybe they are beyond among the questions that are being asked directly to Swamiji. So let him answer all the questions, remove all the doubts as we're moving to the next segment.
Okay. Please come to the space of listening. Let's begin.
According to science, vacuum is absence of matter, but according to you, vacuum as energy, matter is manifestation of energy. How will you define vacuum then? Please understand, now the science has changed its view. Now they are coming up with a clear-cut idea. No such thing as vacuum can be created. Even in the space in which you say vacuum, the ether is the present. The ether is the grass form of energy. And they are very clear now, ether is also a form of matter. It can be measured and handled. So, first thing, now the science has evolved so much that it could catch up with the spirituality. It could understand the spiritual truths. And they have started understanding vacuum is not absence of matter. It is absence of certain parts of matter, not completely all matter. You have 5 elements. Vacuum is absence of 4 elements. That's all. It is not the absence of matter. So, science has changed its opinion. And this itself has answered my question. The question. So my stand is accepted by the science. Very lately they are coming up with their clear concepts also to work on the ether, how to use the ether and all those things. Thousands of years ago, the Eastern rishis have developed Vastu Shastra to use the power of ether. All our Vastu Shastra means the technique of building homes and houses are all based on this science of ether. So now they are working to how to use the power of ether. So the next question is very clearly answered in this itself. According to me and according to science, vacuum is energy, and vacuum is not absence of matter. And I define, according to me, vacuum is not something special from total. Total and vacuum are one and the same. If non-living things like rocks have intelligence, is there any difference in the intelligence between human beings, animals and non-living things? Please explain. One difference. Human being has got the conscious choice. He can decide whether to live with that intelligence or not. The animals and non-living things don't have that choice. They are intelligent by nature. With human beings, you have a choice to be a fool. That's the only difference. Nature, by nature, intelligent. Human beings have got the choice. You can be intelligent or you can be a fool. Except this choice, except this difference, there is no other difference. Nature is intelligent by nature always. Human beings are intelligent by mistake. Sometimes, unfortunately, they act intelligently without knowing. Except that there is no other difference. I understand that as you go deeper into the 7 bodies, the distance becomes less. How do you move down in levels of bodies and stay there so you can truly experience collective consciousness? It is just as simple as 1, 2, 3. Just very simple as 1, 2, 3. 1, after the lecture, go to the volunteer. 2, register for NSP. 3, be here tomorrow morning. Just 1, 2, 3. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You can experience and stay there. It is said that an individual has control over their mind, does that mean an outside mind can still influence an individual's mind and thought process? How do we control it so as to prevent anger or depression? This refers to the first truth that you stated. Thank you. Nice question. It is said that an individual has control over their mind. And can I know who is that individual who put this question? It is said that, oh, you are. Can you control your mind? This is the same reply from everyone it will be. If I ask anyone, it will be the same reply. Then how can we believe this first statement? It is said that an individual has control over their mind. This is only said, not practiced. Be very clear, it is only said, not experienced. So the statement is wrong. The next thing, does that mean an outside mind can still influence an individual's mind and thought process? Yes. Are you married? You are. Simply by them, now you know your husband can influence your thought process. And you see, one small thing, not only by giving orders, even without giving orders, they can influence. For example, you wanted to come to meditation. I'm not saying particularly about you. Your husband may be here, I don't know. Or somebody, you want to come to meditation. He never says openly no, but he just keeps his face, long face. He can influence your meditation here. When you are sitting here, his long face, you will be meditating on his long face. You will be continuously remembering his long face. They are very energy. And one more thing you should understand. For example, he never likes this meditation, all this stuff. And somehow, fortunately, he was not in the station. He is not in the city. He is out of station for last 10 days. Even then, if you are coming here, you come up with a thought. If he is here, I have to ask permission. So you will say no. Anyhow, you come here. You have not asked him. He has not showed any even body language or verbal language. Nothing has happened. But when you are sitting here, your energy will be totally different. The memory, just the memory, if I ask him how he will react, is more than enough to put you into low mood, to influence you. Am I right? The very thought is enough to change the whole energy. So understand, it is so practical. Others can influence your mind without even expressing their thoughts, without even expressing their body language, even if you don't see them, even if you have not seen them, even if you have not asked them about something, just their thinking trend, just their thought structure, when you know about it, that is more than enough to influence your thought and thinking system. How do we control it so as to prevent anger or depression? How do we control it? Again, same answer. Only meditation. Analyze all the 7 layers of your so-called individual consciousness. You are nothing more than onion. Please be very clear. We are nothing more than an onion. If you peel the onion layer by layer, what is there inside? Empty. Just like that, you are an onion. Onion thinks it has got something solid. Only when you peel all the 7 layers, you understand there is nothing inside. Same way you think you are an individual consciousness. If we peel all your 7 layers, You will experience you are a cosmic consciousness, collective consciousness. That's the one and only way to prevent anger or depression which sneaks inside your system from others, through others and by others. Thank you. Why do we have to suffer? In childhood, we are trained to be separate from others, then school to learn to be somebody, and then adults competing in commercial jobs, and ultimately, if the ultimate truth is we are one, bliss, why cannot mass consciousness also reflect this joy, peace and love? It's a beautiful question. I'll answer step by step. Why do we have to suffer? In childhood, we are trained to be separate from others. Then school to learn to be somebody. Then learn adults competing in commercial jobs. If the infinite truth is we are one bliss, why cannot mass consciousness also reflect this joy, peace and love? This question has got so much of potential meaning. The people who created the education system which we are practicing now are not enlightened people. That is the first problem. The education system created by enlightened people, the rishis, Gurukulam structure, is totally outdated. It is not anymore alive. Let me say a few things about the rishi culture or Gurukulam education system. The education system designed by enlightened masters. In that system, any child who takes birth in that country belongs to the university. He belongs to the master. Parents have no right over kids. The moment they give birth, he or she will be handed over to the Guru. And Guru takes care of him. There are just few rules I'll explain. They are not allowed to wear clothes till they are 7. You do not know, you laugh. It means till 7 they are not even given an idea that they are some individual bodies. They are allowed to relate with existence, ether, straight away with their whole body. They are allowed to relate with flowers. They are allowed to relate with forest. They are allowed to relate with trees. They are allowed to relate with earth. Till the age of 7, they are not even given an idea that they are somebody, they are some body, as you asked in the question. They are some body. And the next thing, they are not taught to suppress the left. They are not given the idea whether they are male or female till the age of 7. They are not given the idea whether they are male or female. They are not given the idea that they are somebody. They are not given the idea that they have to suppress some part of their body. They are allowed to live with this whole body. If you can just apply these 3 things with your kids, don't separate their upper body and lower body with cloth. Means don't put anything in the hip. Give something like which covers the whole body. Next, don't give them continuously idea that they are somebody. Of course, It will be very difficult for you because you have to send them to school and lot of things. Only with that atmosphere it is possible. The Rishi culture, they are not given any idea. At the age of seven, they are given a meditation technique. Even if they collect the idea that they are somebody, they can dilute it. They can again and again flush that idea away. They can flood it. They are given a meditation technique again and again to tune themselves to the collective consciousness. That is what we call Gayatri. From 7 to 14 they practice that Gayatri, through which they will be continuously relating to the collective consciousness. By 14 they will have the glimpse of the collective consciousness, means the conscious experience of enlightenment, Satori, the blueprint of enlightenment. And after 14, based on their Satori, after having Satori, means the first experience of enlightenment, they will be given a deeper level techniques to continue in their path. By 21, they will become enlightened. And I tell you honestly, there was a time when more than 70% of the people were enlightened. That is what we call Satya Yuga. There was a time in the Rishi's culture when more than 70% of the people were enlightened. Other 30 were minus, below 7. They were working towards it. Either they are already enlightened or they are working towards it. Our social structure, the social structure created by enlightened masters is either already enlightened or working towards enlightenment. That's all. There is no other category. Whole society is only two categories. One is achieved, another one is traveling. That's all. Enlightened and seekers. Of course, unfortunately, we lost that education system. That is why I have to conduct NSP every week all over the world. And it is not so easy to conduct this program. People who attend, they say, Swamiji, 2 days, except few hours of rest, you will not have much rest. And people don't feel tired. That's different, because they feel so much of energy through meditation. They come and tell me, Swamiji, how is it possible? 2 days we have spent without sleeping. And I tell them, for you at least it's only one weekend. For me, every weekend. For last 2 years, there was not a single weekend in which I was not having some program, some ASP or NSP in some part of the world. If you see our website and see my program, throughout the year, till 2006 beginning, throughout this year till 2006 beginning, not even single weekend is free. Somewhere or other, we are having ASP and NSP. You can see the complete program. And apart from that, even in weekdays, in India we do this program as 4 days program, 4 days course. Continuously I am doing the programs, ASPs and NSPs, everywhere, because the Gurukulam system is lost. Now we are trying to revive the Gurukulam system. Already we got few kids of our devotees and started the Gurukulam in India ashram. Soon we are expecting to revive the Rishi culture along with giving modern education to them without disturbing their collective conscious experience or enlightenment. Swamiji, do you think undifferentiated Nirvikalpa consciousness is more or less suitable for us compared to Savikalpa differentiated collective consciousness? First thing you should understand, may I request the person who put this question to stand? Yes, thank you. Have you experienced either Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think then you should sit here. Let me tell you from my experience. I do not know about your experience. I can say from my experience, please be seated. From my experience, there is no difference between Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa. When you reach 99%, there is no difference between 99 and 100. These terms are just words. I tell you, in my experience, when I reached Savikalpa, I just dropped into Nirvikalpa. It's not that after that I have to do something to reach the Nirvikalpa. When I experienced Savikalpa, I just dropped into Nirvikalpa. So this is what is my experience. This is the way I achieved enlightenment. And the next thing, undifferentiated consciousness and collective consciousness is again one and the same for me. I did not find any difference except the word. A small story. In India, a big fight goes on between this Savikalpa Samadhi group and Nirvikalpa Samadhi group. The Savikalpa Samadhi group is this Ramanujas, Visishta Advaita and Dvaita, Bhakta category. And Nirvikalpa Samadhi group is this Shankaras. These two group, a big fight. One more small story inside the small story. It's like there was a tank in the center of a village. 4 new persons came to the village. They were about to enter into the tank. One guy said, there is a water, I have to go and drink. The other guy said, no, it is only pani, not water. My grandfather told me. I have to go and drink. The third guy said, no, it is Neelu. It is neither water nor pani. I have to go and drink. The fourth guy said, no, it is Tannir. Means water in Tamil. No, I have to go and drink. My grandfather told me. My grandfather only built this tank. All the 4 started fighting before entering into the tank. They fought so badly. All the 4 killed each other before entering into the tank. If they had little bit of patience to enter into the tank, or at least look into the tank, all 4 of them would have understood what we are fighting is only word. It is one and the same. Whether water or pani or tanni or neelu, it is just one and the same. Same way, all this religious terrorism. This religious terrorism is nothing but misunderstanding of the same category. Before entering into the tank, they hold on to their words and they say, my grandfather told me. My grandfather's grandfather told me. They continue to fight without even peeping into the tank. If you just have a little bit of patience or courage to peep into the tank, not only you will not fight, all of you can drink and then supply water to everyone else. We can experience the bliss and radiate it to everybody else. These guys, this Ramanuja and Shankara fight, you don't know to what extreme this Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa goes on. And these Ramanujites, Vishnu Bhaktas, they will have a big bell in their ears. If somebody chants Shiva's name, they will ring their head and they will shake their head so that the name will not go into their ears. No, really? They will just shake their heads so that the name will not go into their ears. And the other guys, the Shankarites, if somebody utters the name of Rama, Narayana, they will go and take bath and come back. This fight between Shankara and Ramanuja, Advaita and Visishta Advaita, goes on, goes on, goes on. The Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. And there was a showroom. Both of them have written commentary on Brahma Sutra. Both books are displayed. One scholar came and inquired a volunteer who was standing there and taking care of the showroom. What is the difference? That both titles are given. Shankara, Brahma Sutra Sankara Bhashya, Brahma Sutra Ramanuja Bhashya. The scholar came and inquired, what is the difference between these two? Volunteer said, 45 rupees. It is just 45 rupees, $1, nothing else. I tell you, all they fight, at least I can say last 1000 years this fight is going on. Whether Savikalpa Samadhi or Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Last 1000 years. The whole fight is solved by the simple one answer, 45 rupees. Understand, this is what is my experience. When I fell into Savikalpa Samadhi, I simply dropped into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So, still now I am not able to figure any difference between Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. According to your experience, I don't know. Only that you should tell. How do you live in truth when it is so hard for others and us, so hard for others and us, plus us to hear it? And even now, when I said, this is what is my experience, I don't know about your experience. There is every possibility that you can get hurt. But the truth is, truth. Even though it is so hard for others and us to hear, we have no other way but to live with the truth. Is it possible to skip the layers of attaining the nirvanic body? You had mentioned sudden enlightenment. I am confused with this. Please be very clear. The sudden enlightenment also happens only by penetrating all the 7 layers. There is no shortcut. There is no skipping the layers. You can't skip the layer because you have it. So, you can't skip the layers of attaining the nirvanic body because it is truth. Even if you attain sudden enlightenment, you will be penetrating all the 7 layers within a second. It is possible. But you have to penetrate all the 7. So, you can't skip any one layer. If you can skip, I would have done that. I would have already abridged. I try all my best to abridge all my programs. So, I saw very clearly, you can't do any more upgrading or editing. I did all possible editing and updating. The updated version of consciousness only I am offering. I can say for sure, the program, the NSP, or the meditations of layer by layer is updated version of consciousness. It is most updated software or hardware, whatever you think. lot of personal questions. I have heard and read of your ability to heal men and women of their physical ailments. However, can you heal minds that are corrupted in the material world? Is it possible to get rid of the mind's imperfections so one can search for God with a pure mind? First, you should understand, actually, I don't heal. Just my presence heals. When a sun rises, lotus blooms by itself. It's not that sun needs to go and open the petals of the lotus. Just like that, in the presence of a master, simply healing happens. Healing is not done, but it happens. I can heal your body because your body is straight away in my presence. Same way, if you open your mind, that also can be healed. In this NSP, all we do is opening your mind only. You are asked to write for yourself about your guilt, desires, pain and pleasures. You are not going to show to anybody. You are going to write to yourself only. People ask me, why are you asking us to write all these things one by one, Swamiji? You are not going to show to me. You are just opening in my presence. You write to yourself. You are not going to show to me or to anybody else. People ask me, you are asking me to write by myself. After all, I know everything. Why should I write? I tell them, you know, but now by writing, I am making you open in my presence so that it can be healed. It's like you have a wound in your thigh. If you cover it with a gold sheet and a silk cloth, it will just be there. It will never get healed. If you open it, at least the sun rays can heal it. The sun can heal it. So we are opening all the wounds and the energy just heals. The whole NSP is about opening up of your layers by layers, all your emotions, guilt, desires, pain and pleasure, everything. When we open up, you are healed and you experience God. Not only you search for God, you experience God with a pure mind. Pure mind is God itself, not something separate. We are all part of collective consciousness. How the God comes into this? The collective consciousness is what I call God. The whole is what I call God. When you are whole, you are holy. And today is holy. Ras Purnima. When Radha and Gopis and Krishna experienced that collective consciousness, Krishna gave the experience of collective consciousness to the whole group of Gopis and Radha. We have a very wrong idea about this Ras Leela. We think Ras Leela is something like we made it as such as if Krishna had relationship with so many women. No, it's a wrong concept. Be very clear. Ras Leela happened when Krishna was 10 years old. He was a small boy. None of us read the original scriptures correctly. We just pick up and support what we want. See, we just wanted to support all our qualities. So we just want some support from some scripture or some master. so that we can do all our things behind his back. So we just start blaming Krishna. What happened actually is he gave the collective consciousness experience to the whole group of gopis and Radha. The whole group of gopikas, they had the experience of collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is what I call God. God is not created. If we become one, then who created us? God has not created us. If we become one, then who created us? If you attended yesterday this course, you can understand. Or, if possible, listen that DVD. Chaos is order and order is chaos. Nobody has created you. Nobody is creation. Nobody is creator. Nobody is created. There is only one thing, creation. Creation itself has created itself by its own intelligence. Creation, created, creator, all the three are one and the same. To understand more, please listen to the discourse of chaos is order and order is chaos. I pray and bless you all. Let you all have this eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.
Yes. So just at the last, Swami says, creator, the creation has created itself. Creation is the creator. Creation is the collective consciousness. Pure mind is collective consciousness. When you become pure, when your mind is pure, you are one with the existence, one with the collective consciousness. There is no separate creator by itself. When you are one with the existence, you are the creation itself. So now we have come to the conclusion of today's day of Paramashivoham Level 1. Tomorrow we'll be back again with next topic, which is going to be on interesting topic. A widely discussed topic around the world is karma. And tomorrow we'll be discussing about the karma. Swamiji himself will be guiding us throughout the whole journey on karma. What is karma? Different types of karma, how it is related to our life, how it affects our life, and how to get rid of karma, how to go beyond karma. And of course, the day is going to be starting with Nityananda Yoga, 108 asana sequence. So, requesting all the participants to be available starting with the day when the yoga starts.
Yes. With this, let us all keep our hands in Namaskara Mudra and bow down to Swamiji in deep gratitude for revealing all these powerful cognitions to us. And thank you all for joining us for this program as we conclude this day of Paramashivoham Level 1 with a Purnamudra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nityananda Parameshwara Padukar Paramastu Om Nityanandam.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Nityanandam.